We used to co-host it with them. There used to be let the record reflect that no other business was discussed other than what was on the consent agenda. Also, let the record reflect that at 8:10 PM, we are reconvening into open session. And I believe we have a couple of things to vote on.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. So 14.1, potential board action on the personnel consent agenda. I'll make a motion. Second.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 14.2, it's just notification of a resignation that the music teacher at Rich Central effective January 8th will be leaving.
Okay.
14.3, potential board action to approve the leave of absence for Emily DeMarco, fourth grade teacher at Rich Central. I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Grove.
Aye.
And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 14.4, potential board action to approve a leave of absence for Amal Mansour, paraprofessional at Finley Junior High. Looking for a motion. I'll make the motion. I'll second.
You got it, this one. You have a lot. Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Schroeder. And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 14.5, potential board action to approve a retroactive intermittent leave of absence for Patricia Casey, lunchroom recess supervisor at Finley Junior High. You. Second. Thank you.
Mrs. Grove.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 14.6, potential board action to approve a leave of absence for Regina Potter, paraprofessional at Rich Central School. I'll make the motion. Second. I'll second it. Thank you.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 14.7, potential board action to approve a memorandum of understanding on the snow removal compensation with the Crest Union. I'll make a motion. Need a second? There we go.
Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Schroeder. And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 14.8, potential board action to increase the current and starting lunch recess supervisor's salary to $14 an hour per the minimum wage law effective 1/1/24. I'll make the motion. I'll second it. There you go.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Grove.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 14.9, potential board action on the resolution releasing the closed session minutes and destruction of verbatim recordings 18 months and older. I'll second it.
Mrs. Lebudzic.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Grove.
Aye.
Mrs. Lammle.
Aye.
And Mrs. Petropoulos.
Aye. 15.0.
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
We got a
I'll
sec.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We are adjourning the meeting at 8:14.